Welcome. I always love to show the behind the scenes. I always love going live in our group. Like last week, you heard Heidi's podcast masterclass. And really, the initiative is for collaboration, for us getting together and kind of like putting our minds together. In today's episode, you're going to hear one of our insiders circle, Mastermind. And we talk about social media. Basically, it's led by Doucky and Kassar, and they are absolutely amazing. I love those ladies, love following them. I actually met them in person through another membership that they were hosting an event here locally in Raleigh, North Carolina. So I had to hop on. And as I did, I bought a ticket, went over there. It was amazing just meeting women in business. And I met so many amazing, wonderful, entrepreneurial women like making things happen. I hope that you gain insight from this episode. We talk a bit about social media and I'm all about that marketing stuff. So you'll get a bit of that in there as well. So let me know what you think. DM me on IG. Find me at Linda Mendable or Monetizing Mompreneurs, whichever handle is good for you. Because in my personal handle, basically I talk about motherhood, design. Sometimes I give tips, but in Monetizing Mompreneurs is all about the podcast and the community. So let me know your thoughts. I just want to give a shout out to Heidi, my podcast manager, editor. Basically, she's the one that sets up my blog posts for the episodes and she edits my podcast. So I just wanted to give a shout out to her. As you are going to be listening to this episode, you did hear her last week. She's absolutely amazing. And if you haven't caught that episode, you need to listen to it ASAP. Well, I hope you enjoy the show. Hello, welcome to Monetizing Mompreneurs podcast, where I take you behind the scenes with industry leaders, entrepreneurs, moms, working professionals, and amazing people pursuing their passions and going for their dreams. And I'm your host, Linda Mendable. But I'm going to let Doucky lead. And I know that you guys have questions. Where do you want Doucky to start?
Yes. Tell me all your questions. Tell me what you've been doing about content, everything. And then we just start the conversation.
Well, I checked my Facebook business page because I was trying to see what was popular, and there's nothing. No comments, no shares, no likes. But the problem is, like the system I have, and I think this is universal, when you use a system to help schedule, it doesn't use your personal Facebook. You're required to just use your business page. And then I do Instagram and LinkedIn. And my Facebook page has over 2,000 and some people in it. But so I'm trying to switch to that. But then I noticed today when somebody sent me something business-like, at the end, Facebook had made a comment that they were only going to allow that person to do that for so long to make it like a business thing. So are there some rules that we need to be aware of to be consistent?
Is this your business page or your group?
Well, I really think because nothing's happening in the business page. Now I could share from the business to the personal. Does that help you with your algorithms to share from a business page? And right now they're just tips. Nothing's trying to sell anybody. Some of them have like add a comment if you want this resource, but there's no traction with it. And so then on the personal page, I just try to be more me and not put stuff that relates me to my work, but I probably should. But then I hate it when people do that on their personal page myself. It's just like, just be you. Why do you always have to tell me you sell real estate or whatever? So what's a good strategy, I guess, is I'm asking, how do you use your personal Facebook page? Or should I just, it seems like Instagram is a lot friendlier toward the business stuff.
Yeah. So personally, I think, well, Linda is more expert in the Facebook part. We're actually learning from her. I have had more successful on Instagram. Personally, I use my personal Facebook. I barely use it, honestly. I just, my birthday was last week and I just saw my messages like, oh, happy birthday, but I really don't use it. We use it in the past, but we have had more success in Instagram for sure. Um, so in Facebook, honestly, the thing is that if you are not engaging, then they're not gonna show up in your newsfeed, right? So that's what happens. So for example, I'm member of several groups, but if I don't interact in that group, it comes to a moment that I don't receive any news from that group anymore, right? And some other people, just to avoid distractions, they block the news feeds, so they're not scrolling, right? So I don't know. On Facebook, I cannot help you in there. In Instagram, definitely I can help you a little bit more.
Well,
I rarely use Facebook. Yeah.
So this is why Doucky is here, because she thinks she doesn't know, but this is how you can use it together. So what I would say is I've noticed the people that have the highest conversion that come into my world, that buy my stuff, is the people from Instagram coming into my Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
When you use Instagram aligned with your Facebook, it actually brings about more engagement. So what the it's kind of like having the omnipresence marketing, right? Have you guys heard of that? Like being everywhere, right? And that's what these bigger brands can do. We're so blessed right now that we are able to do that. And I believe, I don't know if I did a training on MissingLettr. Have you guys remember MissingLettr? Do you guys want me to show you MissingLettr?
Yes.
I just looked at it. I didn't see training, but Instagram doesn't link to your personal page. It links to your
But this
business.
is what Instagram does. So Doucky is a professional of getting people engaged, seeing her stories, and you want that with IG. And especially when you bring them into your Facebook group, for whatever reason, they may not be commenting, they might not be liking, but the people that are in the group have a higher conversion rate than the people that are just on my IG. Does that make sense? So if Doucky does a strategy that she actually starts funneling people into her Facebook group and combine that with her email newsletter, people start seeing her a lot more. They may see her more and interact with her more on Instagram, but she may pop up on her Facebook, and maybe people are just scrolling by, but they see it. And sometimes you guys are too focused on engagement when it comes to in the Facebook. You're going to get crickets. The engagement that you want, that you truly, truly want, is emails, is DMs. Those are the engagement in private. That means you're doing something right. Because I got a lot of engagement in private. People email me, and that's why I said, don't email me, DM me, because I can't keep up. And that's why we have a support ticket system, because I just want to make sure that I get my client stuff right away instead of going through all the emails and seeing, we get spam, we get all of that stuff sometimes. So it's just being visible, right? What do they say? People need 8 to 10 touch points before they actually buy. They may see you on IG and ignore you on Facebook. They may see you on Facebook and ignore you on IG. But like I said, I've done the numbers. I crunched the numbers and I looked at all of it. When you take people from your IG strategy and bring them into your Facebook, like your Facebook group, not necessarily your page is there for ads. When you start wanting to automate, that's what it's there for, because you want them to have like a lookalike. You want to have a lookalike audience, and you want Facebook, the algorithms, to pick that up in the Facebook page. And that's when you start running ads. You can run ads on Facebook and on IG. And that's how a lot of accounts, especially people that are great with Instagram, that teach Instagram, because I follow them too, they grow their accounts through ads. Like they double down and grow their account through ads. So someone has I followed this IG expert. She has 50K. She explained in the beginning of her journey, when she was growing her IG, she did ads. Now she doesn't do ads anymore. She, grows it organically, but there's also that traction, right? The momentum that makes things go even faster. So that's how you can bring it together. But there's a way that you can, I'm going to share my screen. There's a way that you can do it that you have that omnipresence, that you don't have to worry about posting, and you can just do IG, and Facebook is automated. Does that make sense? So you're probably live in engagement on IG, and use Facebook for maybe having that live class, that challenge, instead of doing that in IG, because IG you can't really do challenges that are that successful, right? No. But with Facebook, you can't, for whatever reason. It just works better for that conversion. So I'm going to show you my strategy on how kind of like I still kind of like how I kind of like got my podcast to that high percentage, right?
Woo!
And that's MissingLettr. Yes, and that's MissingLettr, because I believe in having one piece of content that's amazing, right? I post once a week. I do my podcast, but having multiple mini segments off of that one bigger content. Oh, Doucky left us, but I bet she's coming back.
In all your signatures, you have your podcast link available.
Yes, I also do that. What you want for your website in SEO purposes, right? As a web designer, you want Google to crawl your website, and if you're not publishing on your website, you're going to be lower ranked for people to when they search for your content on your website, right? So this is also easier for people to find you on Google. Does that make sense? Like on all these other types of platforms. So you want SEO, and SEO comes with you doing blog posts around your niche, and you actually grow faster than just using one platform, right? And then you can make the reels about your blog posts and point back to your website, because you want people to go to your website so they can check out your stuff, so they can hire you, book a call, or buy that course. So I'm gonna stop sharing. Do you guys want to look at more numbers on it? Because
I guess I didn't
don't
understand.
want to dwell too much.
Why are you doing 12 months in advance? Because I would be changing my mind along the way about what I want to post. Or do you still do other things?
That content is evergreen, right? So it's content.
It's evergreen content. So
yeah, it's content that is relevant all the time.
But you are adding other things as well, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I post like if I need to post something, I'll post it. So I use that, and I use Meet Edgar, because Meet Edgar allows my Facebook group to continue, right? And to always post the prompts, right? It's not, I mean, yeah, I want an engagement and stuff like that, and I know how to, recreate that and bring buzz, because, but you also want to be relevant, right? So people I get to showcase my podcast episode. I get to showcase, maybe a bundle I'm in. I get to show, I get an audience to launch through to that has already signed up, want to be notified of what I'm launching. Does that make sense?
I'd say the conclusion is MissingLettr keeps you consistent even when you can't be.
Yes, it keeps you consistent. So all you would have to do is develop one piece of content a week. That's it. You can sit down and batch that. That's what I do. I batch my episodes. I sit down and I batch my episodes, and boom, I have a reel. I can make another reel if I wanted to, but I'm so busy with my 3 kids and my cooking. I hate cooking right now. But anyway,
well, you have to join BFF so you won't hate cooking.
I do gotta join, right?
So did you say
I do. I want to lose weight.
Audio or is written blog? You said you did audio blogs or
the podcast, right? The podcast is the blog.
Mine. So I would say the podcast is an audio blog, right? Because it's basically a blog post. I do a blog post as well as stream my podcast on YouTube. Now I just started that one. YouTube has a way that you can stream on there. I stream it on Spotify, Intune Radio, iHeartRadio. You can find me on iHeartRadio, and so that's just boom. That's just amplifying your message, right? Amplifying what you do. And so this is why, right now, you guys are creating your challenges and you're getting clear on what you want to do. And once you're clear, you can amplify. Once you have your whole funnel set up, you're great. You're gravy, because everything is working and people are coming in, and you know how to keep on having that revolving door. This is the thing. When it comes to business, you have to get new people coming in. or it's going to be like a pond that doesn't have any flow and is going to get stagnant. And have you ever seen stagnant water? It starts to stink, for lack of a better term. So you need freshness coming in. You need people coming in and reviving what you're doing. You need that, so you need to develop a strategy. Is like, okay, how can I make a strategy that brings new people coming in and engages already the current people that are in it to win it with you? Because there's going to be people that love the way you show up, love the way what you do, and so that's what you want to keep. But they also want a community, right? And that's also key, because it's not just about you, it's about the community that you have brought. So everything's not on your shoulders, right? So questions, comments, or concerns? And Doucky, do you have anything to say?
I can hop in here. I got some questions. So I was wondering, we talked last week, and with me kind of switching up a little bit about who I want to talk to and what I want to talk about, which is branding. Just some fun content ideas that I can kind of jumpstart, because I don't like being on camera, but I need to be. So I just need some 5 quick things that I can get some things done that look like something.
Okay. So are you in Instagram? So this is a question for
I am.
Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What type of business do you have?
I have a branding business.
A branding business?
Yes.
Yeah, you need to show up for sure.
I know.
So the key for that, Alexis, is that this is like your office.
Mm-hmm.
I bet that when you were incorporated or you go to an office, you don't want to go really like, oh, I'm dying to go and see my boss and my coworker that I hate, right? Like you just get ready and you go to your office.
Right.
That's how I take it. In the morning, I went to Pilates and I wanted to be with my Pilates clothes all day long, but I need to show up for my business. So it is about a mindset switch that, this is my business. I have to treat it seriously.
Mm-hmm.
I have my earrings. I have to, get ready. And that is going to give you the confidence to show up. Because I know that in the morning when I don't get ready, I don't take a shower and I don't get ready to work, I don't want to show up because I don't feel good about myself.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes it's just, some lipstick, some bond. And also if you are like that and maybe you want to give a message that you can do branding in a relaxed way, you can show up like really in your PJs. I have seen a lot of content creators, they don't put any effort on their image. They feel comfortable though, because the important thing here is the message and the content. Do you actually have clients now, or you're looking for clients? You have
I do have clients, but I'm also looking to, I'll be launching a branding challenge between this month and next. And so
you want to do the pre-launch.
Right.
Okay, good. So for the pre-launch is about giving a lot of information and value. What I do every morning is thinking about what is my ideal client's pain point in the morning. What do they need to hear?
Okay.
And I have an Excel sheet with all the questions that I get when I'm on my calls. And there are like some fun situations out there, right?
Right.
For example, in my field that is weight loss, one that comes up a lot of times, sometimes it's like dramatic and you can put it like fun, is that even though we do a lot of effort on losing weight, like we measure our food, we go work out and we do a lot of things, it is hard for us to lose weight. But then our husband, he said, I'm not going to eat cookies this week, and they lose a bunch of weight. And that is frustrating.
Right.
So it is hard, it is frustrating, but it's also a fun situation. So when you portray those everyday moments, that's what is going to make your people to get engaged. That is it's fun content, but at the same time, it's a pain point. So it's like, oh my God, I need to send this to my friends because we talk about that all the time. So
Gotcha.
that is about making like content pillars. So you use the fun part, also, like the dramatic part, the value, informational tips, and all of that. So another conversation that I always have with my friends in my 40s, because my audience is women in their 40s, is that now instead of talking about issues with the babies, with the kids, because that was the conversation when we were doing like drinks, now we talk about, did you schedule your mammogram? Did you have the colonoscopy done? Oh my God, the hormones are going crazy. So those everyday conversations are going to be the ones that are going to be more shares, that are going to have more shares, more engagement.
Right.
They're going to say, oh, Alexis, she gets me, right? A situation.
I do notice that my content with my son always blows up. So
With
yeah.
your son. Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So where, like if your people want to be like, relax in the office, so the content should be maybe in a sofa, like everything like links to your business, you show there. If you want to do business in your PJs and make a bunch of money, so you should be wearing those type of clothes. I remember in the past for my clients, it was like before the 40s, for them it was really important to wear a crop top even when they were in their 30s. I didn't want to wear a crop top, but they wanted. So I would show up in a crop top, just fire them. It's like, hey, you can do this. It doesn't matter. You're almost 40, but you can do it. So make a list of 4 situations or 4 questions that you are going to actually solve in your challenge. And just to make it relatable or fun.
Okay, that's good.
We can brainstorm here if we have time. We can brainstorm together just to get you at least the first post, because always that is like the most
always the first one.
Is the first one. But I don't know, with those examples I gave you can just think about a situation that is fun in the branding part. I don't know, like when you spend a lot of money in a designer just to build a logo and people don't even remember the name of your company, I don't know, like start thinking about those complaints. Like, oh, I make a web page and nobody's looking at it. I don't know. So it is that those situations, we have to think about branding issues that we can solve. But it's like, oh, when you do this, maybe it could be as serious. When you do this, and actually, crickets, like where are those situations that they're doing a lot? And it's like, I'm going to show you a challenge where you can effortless bring more clients in and they can actually remember you. So for example, I'm moving now and there are bazillion moving companies out there. But I always see the truck around my town. There is a moving company that is called Piece of Cake. Imagine, Piece of Cake. And only with that name, I think they're gonna solve my issue, because moving is a pain, right?
Right.
It's gonna be easy, like a piece of cake. And actually their logo is like this hand, like this. Piece of cake. Also, the truck is pink, like hot pink. And it's everywhere. So I need to move. What did I do? I went to their page. Piece of Cake. I didn't use them before. I didn't hear anything about it, but I saw them and the name brought me to that. So it is important for the clients. It's like, oh, your company shouldn't be named, I don't know, maybe like, imagine my name, Dugmari Esquijarosa. Who cares? Right? But my company is because it's forever. Imagine oh no, Dugmari Esquijarosa Fitness. That is not saying anything, right? So maybe you can put examples, or you can tell about your story oh my God, my first company was called Rob's, I don't know, marketing, and nobody cared about that. But now, so situations like that.
Right. Okay. Thank you. That was very helpful.
Oh, thank you so much. No, and you please like comment in the group, like we have the group, right?
Yep, we have the group. Are you in the group?
Which group?
Facebook group? My Facebook group? Which one? So what group, girl?
I'm in all the groups. I'm in all of it. I know
you're in all the groups.
Yeah, so you can post maybe ideas,
this
and
is
then
what
we can review it together,
I want to go deeper with this, because my whole thing, like, I don't know how to set my mind to think the way that you think, right? Because you've already been doing it. You have already trained your mind to think a certain way in order that you can knock out the content. Really, you're chilling. Let me go ahead and, because I've seen some of your reels. So where would we start? So I love that idea about complaints. What are the complaints in your industry? What are the complaints in your market, right? But what else? What else can we, so that's complaints. What else can we tap into when it comes to creating? Because what I like to do, and I just tagged you in one of the courses, is sometimes I like to use AI, right? And if once my program is done and once everything is done, I'm gonna go hard on IG, right? I'm probably gonna go hard on IG because I have more free time and really start funneling people in. But I would probably use a little bit of what people are searching on Google, and you can do that with Answer the Public, and then go with the mindset of what Doucky is saying. Adding AI with the mindset strategy that she's saying, because Doucky, I would never thought of like, okay, what are the complaints? I was like, what are people searching for? That's where I would go. And if in Answer the Public, I'm going to show you guys. So in Answer the Public, and I wonder if I have it. And this is another way that you can, just in case you're like me,
you can't the public, but also you have a lot of clients. So it's a matter of also reducing, like the niche and say, oh, I've been talking to my audience every day and say, this is what they're going through. Maybe they don't search in Google, but because you have had conversations, right?
Mm-hmm.
And also the other way I do it is I see my competitors and I see what people are asking on the comments.
Okay.
And then I develop content from that.
And just in case you're like, where do I start? Because I would be one of those people like, oh my gosh, how do I start this? I'm going to show you kind of like the training has a workbook in it. And let me see if I can pull it up. Okay. So I'm going to show you the workbook, and it's the who, when. So recently I was like, oh my gosh, how am I going to, let me share this. How am I going to, develop certain, what are people searching for? So Mountain Mompreneur is about email marketing, right? The base of it is email marketing, because I don't want people to get stuck on social media, but how do you get people from social media into your email list? Social media is kind of like your touch point to be that omnipresence that people see you and they're reading your emails and enjoying the emails that you're sending them, right? Because maybe you're going deeper there, or enjoying the content from your blog post or your podcast, right? And maybe having audio, because audio is just, you just talk, and it's just easy, right? So how can you utilize social media really effectively? And so I developed this, and for email marketing, people were looking at why, searching for why on Google more than any other one. So I took what they had in Answer the Public. Let me see if I can, because this thing, you got to pay for this, but just try to make sure that you do one that you can see. So here it is. So I took what they had in email marketing, and this is where I went into the Googles, right? It's the what, why, the can, the how. And I looked at like see more 5 results, see 4 more results, and it says see more 9 results. So here I saw there was a lot of why there was a lot of this. And so I went ahead and created the workbook, because this is, I can just move this. I can't even, what? I can actually move these things on the edit view, but you can, let me edit this thing, settings. But anyways, you can actually move these. So you would move this, just copy it, save it, and then you can actually edit it, and then you can move it where the why went. So if I do a lot of content marketing, once I'm ready about why they should be invested in email marketing, and then go in with the pain points, like the complaints that Doucky was saying, okay, what type of complaints they would have around the realm of that why question, of why email marketing, and what type of complaints they will have, and then join that, it would be a hit, I would see, because, that's what the major things people are searching for. I would do 5 and 10 between that, because you want the bullseye. So you want closer to the bullseye. Another one is the what. What should people email, right? That's probably what they're searching for.
Right.
In Answer the Public, there was a lot of questions around the what. So in your branding, why don't you put brand, use Answer the Public, and download this, and then you can see what type of reels you would create in the realm of this, double down, right? And use Doucky's strategy mindset hack. Oh, let me end this. Use Doucky's mindset hack, right? What the complaints. So what else do you go over? You go over complaints, when people complaints, and then what else do you do?
So goals, right? Like goals, comments, problems that you're gonna solve your challenge.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I have like an Excel
Okay. And then
and I repeat a lot, and I repeat. So I just pick about 4 pains, complaints, and I just portray them in a different way. So, it's like the same issue, but then I just, it's the same issue. So for example, the men lose weight easily than women. So I put it in a fun way. And then I say, why is difficult for you to lose weight? And then I talk about hormones. So it's like more educational. The same topic, I kind of portray it in different.
So industry myths, right? Industry myths, maybe like industry, like, no, like, people are well known, because that is like, shoot, my husband would get cut before I do if we're eating the same thing. He'll just, and I'll still be flabby,
Yeah. Also,
so that's a good one.
For the challenge, I would recommend to do like a series. People love series. So for example, these are the 5 mistakes, or this is why you're not getting clients. These are the 5 mistakes when you just launch your business.
Or part 1.
Yeah, part 1, and then part 2, so we can do that for a week, like part. Yeah.
Okay, that's good. So let me write this down, because I'm going to send an email.
I'm taking notes.
That is good. So
now look at all the
me too.
series that are on Netflix. People don't really like to watch a movie anymore. They like everything in segments.
Yes. And because now
series,
right? Our audience, it has been educated differently to watch, and that is changing all the time. So I remember that I used to do Instagram TV. I don't know if you remember, like back in the day. So I would be with my daughter making for like 10 minutes, those videos. Then we switch, and it was like pointing, right? With the reels, dancing. And then it was like a whole video for 1 minute, but now it's like cutting. They like cutting. So even like when I make a whole thing, I just cut it, because those jumps, people like them. They get engaged. Somebody put it out there, like Alex Bersoni was the one who launched that trend, and then everyone followed because he's very successful. And now, instead of saying, these are the 5 mistakes that you're making, so instead of doing, these are the 5 mistakes, you have to talk to camera like you are the leader or the friend. So instead of saying, these are the 5 mistakes you're making, say like, this is the thing. So you have to say, this is the thing. Or, I'm not going to gatekeep this, so listen to this. It's like gossipy all the time. So that is not working anymore. It's like, I'm going to show you 5 ways you can make more money. People scroll. Remember that you have...
No, that's not working. People are
2 milliseconds. Like 2 milliseconds. So it's like, remember, people are in Instagram to learn and to get entertained. And if we can put both together, forget it. So most of my most successful reels has been the gossipy reels. They love that. So, and I don't start like, I start like, I have to tell you this. So it's like the hooks, what we call the hooks. So we can say, I have to tell you this. I'm not going to gatekeep this. But girl, this is the thing. So did you see how I start? Does have nothing to be with business. So people are like, or you can say, I have some tea for you today. Or you can say, I know that in case, what is the phrase that I use? I don't know if you need to hear about it. I don't know if you need to hear this, but here we go. Or you can say, you are going to hate me for what I'm going to tell you right now. Or I'm going to get a lot of hate for this, but you are not doing the right things when it comes to create a successful business. So that is the way we start the reels. We don't do
your hook.
My hook. So the hook has to be like you are talking to your friend, that is
a
very
conversational hook.
spontaneous, relax, that shows your personality. Because remember, the people want to work with you, not I mean, like they know that you're an expert, but also they want to work with somebody that attract their personality. Because there are a lot of brand experts out there. There are a lot of weight loss coaches out there. I mean, there are like a lot of fitness coaches that are like jacked and they're like beautiful and perfect. But I mean, they have their own audience. I have women who are normal women, right? Like it's like, oh, they want to look cute, they want to be healthy, not necessarily have a six pack or biceps super big, right? Like I attract other type of people. And also my personality is fun, is gossipy. I want to show about my life. They want to have a life like mine, right? Like it seems so easy to have a healthy life. So that is the inspiration. But also I can show my mess in my apartment. You know, like it's like the imperfection is more important right now. So I talked to you about like that reel that I was in my PJs, no makeup. I woke up that I recorded that like in the middle of the night. I wanted to make a snack. I woke up. I said, oh, I put the light on because I have it here in my kitchen. I prepare my midnight snack, high protein in 2 minutes. I talk to camera. That's it. No posing. So I have my main idea, but it is about, and it takes practice. Before I have to like write down my script, you start from there. But then it's just about relaxing and just thinking that you're talking to a friend, but also you're going to bring the conversation to that level of expertise, right? That, you know, like when I'm going to talk about, you know, it's important. I'm the expert on this. I'm going to teach you something. And then I just stretch with my words. So when I'm doing the reel, I said, I'm going to give you an example. So, you know, first I give my credentials. So I say, I don't know if you need to hear about this, but I'm going to give you one fact that is going to change your weight loss journey forever. And then I introduce myself. Hi, I'm Doucky. You see? So I'm going to throw my credentials. So why you have to listen to me? Like why, right? So you say, hey, I'm Doucky. I'm 43 years old. I lost 35 pounds and kept it off. And now I help women all over the world to do the same. Next, then I go. Yeah, then I go.
Those intro.
Yeah, so like the hook. I'm going to tell you something important. Number 2, who are you to tell me something important? Like, what are your credentials? And so I'm telling my own information.
The hook.
Yeah. The hook, the intro.
Why you? It's almost like a slide. That's like my strategy of slides.
A slide. And
why you?
And then you can say, so for example, say like, you have to master, and then you have to say, what are they have to master? Because they love that. And they're going to be like, oh my God, Alexis knows what she's talking about. Like she has helped 30 women to build business from $0 to $100,000 without in their PJs. I don't know. You have to find something that is fun for them to say like, oh, this is describing. I help my clients go to 0 to 10 clients a month. I help women from all over the world to bring their Etsy shop to a multimillionaire business. So what is that you bring them to?
Ooh.
So are
also,
you saying that
there's this guy that I just started following.
Do you say that in every reel? Like, let me tell you something, and then, hey, I'm the.
Yeah.
Like,
You have a hook and an intro in every reel.
So I change the hook. I change what I'm doing. Sometimes I'm cooking. I'm not saying the recipe. I'm just cooking because people like action, right? Sometimes I'm relaxed on my sofa. Sometimes, so it depends. I like to change things up, but kind of like is the same thing. That really works really well. So it's like different hook, the gossip. Then I'm gonna tell you, who am I? How can I help you? So did you see in my phrase I say I lost 35 pounds and kept it off, because that is important for my audience. It's not only about losing the weight, it's about maintaining the weight loss. And then I help women from all over the world to do the same. I don't have to repeat the thing. So I'm giving like I did it. Now I'm helping you to do the same. And then I just say, well, this is what you have to master, or I'm going to show you something that is going to blow your mind. So I stretch so they can watch more to keep them engaged. And then I'm like, oh, I'm gonna cook this thing with 3 ingredients, but these ingredients, you have it in your cabinet, you didn't know. So that takes practice, but you can get there. It's like, oh, how, just watch the videos that keep you engaged. Because when you're scrolling, I know you have creators that keep you there. Why? So analyze them. Say like, why this is keeping me watching for 10 minutes in TikTok? Why? Why is she doing that? Is keeping me here? And then I say, okay, master this. And then I said the theory of the thing that I'm saying, like the expert part. And then I say, but wait, let me give you an example. They want to know how they can apply that expertise that I just said. And then I say, if you want to learn more, if you want a free guide, if you want to learn how to do this, throw me this in the comment. Like, so you're going to give the lead magnet, or if you want a free consultation, comment the word free, and I get back to you with a link to book it for 30 minutes or to do the challenge, right? In your case. So not all the questions, not all the reels have to be talking to camera. So in the week, I have like 1 recipe, 1 talking to camera, 1 trend. So because talking to camera can be exhausting sometimes. That works better for TikTok, that is talking all the time. But for Instagram, you want to have a carousel, you want to have a talking to camera, you want to have a trend, and you want to have like something that you can show how you do business behind the scenes or something like that. Yeah, Linda, you can talk.
Okay. Yes, thank you. We got 10 minutes, and this is what I want to do in these 10 minutes. I want you guys to do what Doucky just said. I want you to create a hook. So right now, I want you guys to do that. Create a hook, do the why you, right? And then do the whole education part, right? The entertain and the learn part. There is this guy that I was following that he just came on the scene on IG, and he is blowing up. And he is called the 1 Minute Mentor. And what he does is, instead of introducing himself, he has the logo 1 Minute Mentor on his reel, right? So you know who he is. And also I think his IG handle is 1 Minute Mentor. He's an old guy, right? He made it seems like he's a millionaire, right? But he tells stories. Like, I'm going to tell you why, da 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 da. And then he goes into the story on why, and the story, it kind of like positions him as an authority, because he's like, I'm going to tell you my worst business deal. And it's when I sold my car, Ferrari, and I didn't know it was an important Ferrari. I went, and all this. But anyways, he talks about big money and big things, right? In his own way. But it's really engaging because he has a story. So maybe adding storytelling into what Doucky is saying, because Doucky, you also add storytelling in yours, always. Yeah. And that's what I'm going to be also going into as well, because storytelling captures your audience. They learn something from it. So what is that nugget of wisdom, that you're leaving on the table in your story? So what I like to do is have a Google Doc of my stories. I write down all of my stories that are impactful. Yeah. And that I can pull, because sometimes I've been invited to be a speaker and be a keynote, and in those, you need stories. You need storytelling to drive in the point of what you're saying. Same goes for, that's the foundation of marketing is storytelling. And so let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to try to do one off the cuff, off the jump. So my hook, because remember, I did the answer the public, and one of the pressing questions is why email marketing, right? And what I can say is, hey, I'm going to tell you how email marketing is more effective on having quantifiable results when you have your launches. Maybe not in those words, but how you can measure your launches and know if your launch is going to be success with your email list. That's one of the hooks, right? And then maybe I say, hey, I'm Linda. I'm a podcast host for Monetizing Mompreneurs, and I grew my email list and have incredible launches because I understand, the numbers with my email or something like that, right? I can go in deeper. I actually probably do a script because I'm not like you, Doucky, right? But then I can go into a story, and I can, right? I'm like, so one day, I was part of XYZ, bundles and summits, and I grew my email to, over 1,000, and I made the quickest sales I've ever done. But I also went in and I saw the percentage of my open rates along with the percentage of how many people bought, and they aligned. So basically you can really gauge the percentage of your open rates with kind of like that 10% rule of who's going to convert in your email. So, and I can go deeper into that, but that is just off cuff. I don't know if that would actually,
So I would say,
go viral, because usually it's the ones that you don't.
Yeah, I would do with that story. I would say, I have two examples. Like, you're going to hate me for this, but you're wasting your time with email marketing. So then people are like,
ooh, okay.
The best thing ever. And so it's like, I'm going to tell you a story on how I wasted 4 months doing this. And then when I changed my strategy by doing this is when I saw my business growing. That's it. Like, has to be very
punchy.
All right. So I tried. I shot my shot.
And that takes time.
That's why Doucky is here.
Yeah. And then another one could be like, I'm going to tell you right now how to grow your list from 0 to 200 and actually make money out of it.
I could do that one. Oh man, that's good, Doucky. All right, Alexis, that's a good one. All right.
So,
okay, Martha or Liz, are you guys ready?
If I had something to do that was like a quick branding tip that I've been telling a lot of my clients recently is like, your business card is old. You need to have a digital business card is basically what I'm trying to tell people, because you can transport those contacts into your email list and use them that way. And it works a lot better at networking events. But I said, how many of you have a purse full of business cards you need to throw away at the end of the month?
Okay.
I would do.
So I would do. This is why nobody is calling you. This is why nobody is, they are throwing that business card that you gave them in the networking event on the trash. Stop wasting money on that. Like, it's not the 80s. That is so 80s, guys. So what you have to do, and then you're going to show them a tip. You have to download whatever, and then that's it. That's how you do business. That's how they're going to remember you, because you're on top of the trend. Who's going to book you if everyone is using their phones. So that,
Or you can use this one, Alexis. You can use, I'm going to show you how to save the trees.
Right. Which is how I actually got started that way, because I knew that I know people are throwing this stuff away.
Yeah.
I know they are. Why? Yeah. Because I do it every month. Every month at the bottom of my purse is cookies, crumbs from my 5-year-old, and because he didn't finish the granola bar, so it's at the bottom of the purse. Yeah, and then there's 3.
This is why you're not getting calls booked. This is why nobody's hiring you. So you have to it's like, why? I need to know why. It's like, because everyone is throwing your business card on the trash. Stop wasting money. So did you see one? You said because they're doing that, this is why you have to stop.
Right.
And then it's like, you just develop, you have to give them a tip. The cool thing about the reels is making our audience capable. So if we give them strategies, right? That is like, oh, you have to download this, put this data, they're not going to do it. But if we give them a tip that they can actually do, it's like, oh, Alexis gave me something that I can actually do. This is easy. It's not overwhelming. So find these type of tips, super easy, super quick, like the Canva. They're super successful in Instagram, the Canva.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, you didn't know how to. So it's just like, I'm going to give you a simple tip on how to stand out in your social media. One tip that they can do. So I have one video that went viral for the wrong reasons, because you can go viral. Usually I go for the good reasons and I attract followers. I went viral for the wrong reasons. It didn't attract followers. They are fighting with each other. You can go to my Instagram and see. It is ridiculous. And this was, but then it's bringing me views, right? Which is fine. It's not what I wanted, specifically for that reel, but it was a tip. You take the protein bar, and since I hate protein bars, This specifically, when you warm it up or 30 seconds in the microwave, it tastes like a treat. So I did that, and I say, oh, you know what? I'm gonna do that reel. Have like almost 100,000 views already, and they're like fighting with each other. Some people are defending me, some people, and I'm not doing any. I'm like packing because I have to move. I don't care. Like they're fighting with each other, and some people are attacking me. Some people are defending me. It's fine. But did you see it was? And some people said, "Oh, what a great tip! I love you." Whatever. It was one tip. Take the protein, but I didn't sell them. I didn't do anything. It was just one tip that I can do that. Actually, I'm going to put it in the microwave. I'm going to eat it. And it was yummy. They're going to keep watching my stories for those tips. Oh, put Greek yogurt, put ranch. I'm not giving them a full recipe. I'm not giving, it's just something that they can do. Put cottage cheese on the eggs to increase protein. So you see, it's like things that I'm not giving them. You have to organize your meal plan this way, and then you have to work out for it. It's just one thing that they can do tomorrow. So they're like, oh, Alexis, I can work with her because she's giving me actionable steps that I can actually do. Nothing complicated, because the reels, they're going to scroll, or they're going to save and they're not going to watch it. So Canva tips.
Okay, ladies.
Yeah. All of
Okay. Thank you so much. That was very helpful.
I'm dying to see your content for the challenge.
Before anyone leaves. Oh, so you got to share. Please share your challenge. Put it in the announcements or in the community section so we can see your challenge, Alexis. Please share your challenges. When you're done with your challenges in our announcement sections, people do get notified. When I post an announcement, I'm sure you get notified. Questions, comments, or concerns before we close this out?
I wrote a quick hook. I just wanted to see what y'all thought, because I'm going to do a smoothie challenge.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Do you know what's not making you sexy? It's the green M&M. But my 5-day green smoothie challenge will. And at first, I thought smoothies were all fruit, but now I add a little bit of green. Then I add more green, and then it turns green, and I feel sexy at my age.
Period.
Good. That's fun. That's fun.
Okay, so that's okay to do. Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
but then how would I get the email?
That was good.
Instagram, they comment, but then how do I get their email?
So you'll tell them to DM you.
Okay,
you DM them. Yeah, or you can use ManyChats, but I won't recommend that right now because you're in the beginning. When you have a whole bunch of people like Doucky, I know you guys have a whole bunch of messages sometimes with the DM, so it makes sense for Doucky to use ManyChats. But we'll do ManyChats maybe later on once you guys, hone in on your challenges and your strategy and getting those comments, because Douky's going to help us have killer content. Right, dude? So I love this one. This one helped me so much because I was like, how do I do this? Because I'm a horrible actress. I've recorded myself and I try to act and I'm so stiff. I'm like, you do it, Alexis. I am. My husband's like, don't.
You just have to tell me, and then it comes with practice, right? And I can help you. You just have, hey, Doucky, you send me a quick voice note and I fix it for you. Don't worry.
We're also in our chat. We also have a chat in Instagram. So send Doucky. She's more than happy to review your reel. And, we'll get more views too, because, we can comment on each other's reel. It's like, oh, I love this one. Great job on this reel, and I want to see what you guys are doing. So please send your reels. I want to see what you guys are doing. Oh my gosh, this was excellent. You brought it. You brought the house down, because I'm too analytical sometimes. I'm like, I got to do the strategy on this. All right, ladies.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much for tuning in. If you have a chance, stop by the website at lindabendable.com and join us over at Monetizing Mompreneurs Facebook group. I just want to say again, thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening. Thank you for listening.